Hello team, my name is Jay Song. We're going to go over XLM XDC LTC ELA Bitcoin XRP and USDT. Let's get right into it. Take a look at this. All right, so I have moved over to a new analysis which I call Sword Method 2.0. So I appreciate everyone's patience in migrating over some of the lines for lack of better words. I have adjusted the lines on many of these charts to show a new map. So it does include most of the same lines and sword method and that I'm able to calculate, but a few new ones that can help me more micro manage a trade even on a smaller time frame if that's the type of things you guys are interested in. So this is not a tutorial for that. I am previewing some of that in the dive classes as well as showing you these, but just to suffice, these are the maps. So this is XLM on a daily chart. Each one of these candles represents just 1 day worth of time. So this is 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 day, 5 day, such and such, okay? Right now, I'm seeing weakness on quite a bit of charts, and there are many charts that are still not in the clear when it comes to USDT.D, which is the tether dynamic manipulation. In other words, when that chart goes up, many of the cryptos are experiencing falling and they're having crashing. So for example, when USDT.D went up on in December, I think it was around the 6th, most cryptos had a big dip. And then when it went back down for just a small bit, these went back up on the same day. This happened virtually across the board with many cryptos. Not all cryptos were highly affected. Some that were weak moved into a weaker position. Some that were strong got pushed back down into a weak position and had to come back to a stronger. And then some that were weak just got weaker. Some that were strong, really strong, were not affected really at all. So I'm going to show you right now with XLM, we are now underneath this weakness. There is a calculation that I've ran for this. There's a resistance area right here at this angle. I don't always trade based on price levels. I trade based on price angles and the behavior in and around those angles. When you see price starting to curve up into these resistance areas, instead of bouncing on them like they should have while they were falling, they should have bounced. But this one, even though it bounced a little bit, did not bounce enough. It pierced through and then it was ready to go down underneath. So I think we're actually going to be going into the next support areas, which is we need a change of behavior approximately here at 0.22, I'm going to say 22.7, around there. Now, this is never financial investment or trading advice of any kind. This is just educational, entertainment, and comedic purposes only. I eat red crayons for breakfast. So if you guys want to eat red crayons, you guys can too. Get a tummy ache with me. Okay, just read between the lines per my YouTube disclosure. The next major supports that I actually have, though, is this line right here. And I call these dynamic lines because they are moving. If it happened today, it's going to be around 20 cents for XLM, falling. That's the lowest. That's the lowest I really see it going. I do believe we're going to have a positive behavior around 20 cents at least. Now, the reason I kind of think that is because XLM is the last time that USDT went up, XLM fell from way up here all the way down to here. And so USDT.D still has a while to go up, and it's almost the same distance that it has to travel that it had the first crash. So this leads me to believe that XLM is also going to be traveling down to about the same distance. So there's a higher chance that many of these cryptos, unless they were strong or had a good breakout, are not going to be coming up really anytime soon, and they have a higher chance of getting down to around 20 cents around there. But there is supports around 22.5, so 0.225 cents. Okay, so this is XLM on a daily chart. This is XDC. We see another thing happening with XDC. I am seeing major weaknesses. We should have bounced around this dash line, which is a mid-phantom line in Sword 1.0. Now we have this big swing underneath this line, as well as these resistance lines here, and I calculated a few of those going down as well. But these are the new angle. I did fade them out as to these red lines. You can see these red lines here where price is reacting to them very, very accurately. There are some off the screen drawn and created on the weekly charts, and then some way up here. So as price moves on, I'll have a better chance of knowing quickly how far the roof should be on where those roofs are. At the moment, there should have been support right here at this line, and we didn't. We penetrated through. So price, if it ever is attempting to come to this level again, I don't expect this one to hold. So if that means to me, if there is weakness in this area, which we do see there's weakness right here, then I am expecting price to come down and move down approximately to around this support. This is the major support line. Okay, this is the one that holds everything together that's been created over the last year or so. Okay, and it's currently, if price were to free fall today, it's going to hit it around 47 cents. If it hits it before the end of the year, it's going to be around 0.052 cents. So 0.047, not 47, sorry, 0.047 if it fell free fall today, approximately there, a little above. And then if by the end of the year in 2022, we would be looking at around 5.052 cents. Okay, this line is dynamic, so the longer it takes, the higher price goes, and I expect price to do that. That's what I personally think is going to happen. If we were going to get bullish on price, we do need to get past a flash crash of USDT.D. We need to get past that, and it's possible it can be before the end of the year. I'm still expecting it to be sometime in December, and I don't expect XRP to be activated for its utility until March, and I also don't expect, but I do expect a possible information about the settlement happening sometime in December, and it could happen anytime, which could really push XRP up. So, make sure you're ready for that, but it is not beyond the tether manipulation. Well, we'll get to that in just a sec, but I'm letting you guys know some of these things that I'm expecting, okay? So that you know what coins are in danger. There needs to be a few changes of behavior if price is going to become healthy, because right now we are not really healthy on XDC. We need behavior above this line. We did pierce it once, so it's not as scared of this line as it used to be, but we still need positive behavior above the line and also above this level right here, which is approximately around 87 cents. 87 cents approximately there. So this is something we need some positive behavior. I need 1, 2, 3 changes of behavior. Also, we need to get past this line, because we are now, instead of bouncing off this line, we went underneath. We should have bounced on that line. We did not. We actually went underneath the line. That is negative for price. That is more conducive to a continued downtrend. Okay, so we need that. And the other thing that's the major elephant in the room for XDC is and I'll talk about this in our class tonight if you guys are showing up, but there is a major sword cut here, and these are not part of sword 2.0. They're just included in the method. I've given you guys these swords for a long time, for many months now on XDC, and XDC has these lines, and they're currently around 0.45 cents and 0.12 cents. There's another smaller one at around 12 cents. Okay, we need to cross over both of those. So we need positive behavior. I put a green dot indicating we do need some kind of break above and some positive behavior above there before we're going healthy. So even if we broke above these two and had these two major changes of behavior, we still have to deal with the elephant in the room with these with 0.45 and 0.12. Okay, these lines were created with a good structure. So they absolutely exist. They've resisted in the past, right where they should have, almost exactly where they should have, and we've been going down ever since. So these lines are powerful. Even if they're not strong enough to continue pushing price back down even lower, they're enough to stop price in its tracks, possibly delay. So let's move on from XDC. Now we're going to move on to Litecoin. Litecoin, this chart also has been migrated. I'm getting in the habit of now putting a plus on the charts that have migrated to Sword 2.0. And by migrating, I mean me. I spent all day doing these calculations and running these numbers, and not numbers, but running the levels and the angles and making sure they're all correct as best possible. Okay. But with that said, I do have, this is Litecoin on a weekly chart. We are still bearish at the moment. There is some hope for some supports. Okay, some of the supports I'll show you guys in just a moment are around 125. But let's get into the daily chart so you can see this. Okay, so here's the daily chart on Litecoin. And in your world, what's relevant to you is this angle right up here, okay? And just like many of the other cryptos, we are going down. We've been going down for a month or so. We need positive change of behavior past this line. We need to break out above. The good thing about Litecoin and why it's on my watch list, it's actually on my watch list, is because we have this curved upward pattern. And this is really good when trying to boost above this line. We are nice and round, and I talk about all the time how we need these type of positive arcs for a positive change in behavior, because that's conducive to going up. The other thing is that we are at a support line, and this line was created, this one was created here from this channel, from these tops here and this top bottom. This is your mid phantom line. Okay, and so this one, we should be seeing price get some type of positive response on there. But if we don't get it, we still have support around between 129 and 116. This is going to be around 127, around there. So around 127, we should be having some support. So if we get a rejection off this level, I'm actually expecting price to come back down either to this first red line, which we're almost there, and if we get below that, then 127. Now that red line is around 138, around 138. So we need that positive behavior change. And then finally, if we don't get that, if we still go down, then we have these supports at these dynamic levels, with the lower one around 80. And if it happened tonight and price just went into an absolute free fall, it's going to hit you around $96. So around there, if we just went into a free fall, that's where our supports are. And then finally, on top of that, with Litecoin, I did have a support, a major sword cut at $58. I changed this one to green. I've changed that a few months ago, so you guys can tell that this is one that I'm expecting. I'm absolutely expecting some kind of bounce after. And if we do, then we're going to be able to hit these higher levels at $560 and for Litecoin. So we do have a lot of money that's on the table. That's available for Litecoin, but right now we do need that positive change in behavior on the daily chart, and it's going to look right about there. I have a few other Litecoin charts. Here's another one that I've given you guys. Here's another view. If I was drawing the level very, very accurate, it almost looks like we're phasing through today. So we didn't get a rejection. Even though we stopped right there, we couldn't pass that line. We kind of stopped right there. We are phasing through just by the natural order of the day changing. Once the time goes, another candle has to be created, and by default, it's created on the other side of this line. That's what I call phasing through, when price just passes right through, and that's what's happening right now for Litecoin. So that's actually a little bit bullish. That's actually a little bit strong. It's a chance that if we break above and start going up, because we already have the rounded bottom, we can go up, up in the air. Just like XRP, you guys saw that XRP phased through, but it also had a rounded bottom. So once we got on the positive side of XRP, which we'll get to in a moment, we're basically clear to move up. The only fear I have is UST.D, and I've spoken about this in our dive classes, so hope you guys watch that. The next one I have for you about Litecoin, this one, okay, so this one, and I want to show you where this cut was created. Okay, so there was a cut that was created on Litecoin, and you can't see it, but there's a big sweeping arc here, and it cut right here. So a cut was created here, and that's why I also have the support at around $129, a little above there. It's going to be around 132. So around 132, if you guys want to draw your cut around there, that's where we have major support. So even if price comes on the positive side and still falls down, it's most likely we're going to round somewhere around here before we go back up. Okay, ELA, let's get into ELA. ELA, this is ELA on the weekly chart. This is my analysis. We are still bearish, but we are now also experiencing more bearishness because this is the major support line here, okay? And this was created back in, I want to say January of 2021. and back around, this one is before August, June, July, around July. Okay, connect those bottoms. We are now pierced below those lines. And then we birthed a new candle underneath those lines as well. We have 5 days left to go on this weekly chart. Okay, with 5 days left to go, we're still underneath. And so I really don't think we're going to go up, because this to me looks like we actually pierced just below. It looks like we're on the line, but we're also just a little bit below it. So provided there's a small margin of error with the accuracy of my lines, I think I got them pretty accurate. This is not bullish at the moment. This is not bullish. This is actually a little bit bearish. But we have 5 days to to come up. And generally, if it is hard close right on it, generally a principle of hard close is when you see price come down and it stops directly on the line, the next candle is almost always the opposite color. So if this is a long red one, your candle should be an up green one. Mine's are up white because I like red and white. Okay, but that's not the case yet. So that's a little bit dangerous, because this line is going up. The longer it takes, the harder it is for it to catch up and jump on top of the line just to be healthy again. So you want to keep that in mind. This line is going really up. Now that's on the weekly chart. Let's look at it on the daily chart. Okay, and then also these are the support lines that we have. They are dynamic. If price went into a free fall today, I think we are going to be going down to just the previous low, which is around 230, around 230. And then if it falls below that one, the next support is around 210. And if it falls below that, the next support that I have is $1.08 if price were to hit that today. So that's pretty far, and it's a pretty wide gap. Okay, so more weaknesses appearing on some of these charts, or continued weakness, as you guys can tell. Okay, we're watching these behaviors really close, and we've been talking about them every day. So if you guys really want to show up to the dive classes, my website, the link is in the description below. I also give free dive classes throughout the month to Patreon members, to anyone just who's on a Patreon. You guys can have conversations with me. We can go over your cryptos, build a crypto if we don't have it, build a map for it. These maps are usually good for a month or two, couple months, depending on some of the cryptos. Now here's ELA. Here is that wide sweeping arc that I drew. Okay, this is what I call a parabolic. And as price was going down on here, price broke above and cut right here. So this is what I call the sword cut. And I drew this cut because this represents the pain of the people who are on the wrong side of price as price is going against them. The higher it goes, almost the stronger it gets in many cases. And now here we came down to the sword cut area, and we bounced just a little bit and we came right back down. Now this is around right after the time that XRP, that USDT had its big pump up, and then again when that chart goes up, your cryptos come down. So we had a big drop down to this cut. We should have bounced up above, even though we were still on the negative side of price. We should have bounced and went above, because we should have used the momentum from the cut. But we didn't. We just went up just enough to naturally fall down, pierce below, try to come up one more time for gas for air, and pierce below all the way down to its next support areas. Okay, so these next supports were created. Okay, so here's those red lines. They're all the same angle. And now here's where price, according to Sword 2.0, we should have bounced here, but now we came up underneath the sword cut. We tried to breathe for air, but we still didn't still didn't break above the cut. This is actually bearish. Okay, so when we have that, I think we're going to be able to come back down to this line almost no problem with ELA. Current price of ELA, $2.58. I think we're going to be going at least to $2.30 if we were to hit it today. Okay, we're going to go down to $2.38. Below that, the cut is at 210, and below that, again, that $1.08. Okay, so this is where I think ELA is going to go. Okay, here is some of the arrows and how I drew them. I think we're going to be able to come down. There's a chance we'll either bounce on this line when I showed it green, or we'll break down below the line. And I don't know what's going to happen right now, but this is the current lane. We want to see behavior. I don't think we're going to be able to bounce on this line very strong, because we should have already, if we didn't bounce on the sword cut when we should have, that's building evidence to go down. Okay, so that's just what I think. I think there's a higher chance we're either going to hit this lower sword cut of 210 and then it's going to decide. If we break down below that one, then I think we're going to be hitting $1.08. Okay, ELA. But let's watch it and see what's going on. Next, oh, there was another chart of Litecoin, which I kind of drew how the price action works. We're going to go up. Either we're going to reject off this line or we're going to break above. And then when we come up to the next level, we're either going to come up here and reject off of that, or we're going to break up and go up to the sword cut area around 235 to 260. We need a positive before Litecoin can get healthy. We need behavior above 260. Otherwise, it's not good. Otherwise, right now we're just trading between this lane, and then we have to wait once we come here to see what price is going to do. Around 235, we're just going to wait. If we get the break above, great, it's bullish. But if we get the rejected below, then price is going to have more fun playing in this lane. But that's all if we continue to be bullish for Litecoin. Okay, so we need to see, are we going to get that push up? I think we were definitely going to get at least a push up through to, and if it did it today, it's going to be around 160, let's just say $162. If we break above, we should be hitting that within the next 3 days, $162. But that's no guarantee we're going to break above 162, which is this line right here. It's not just a number, because that number changes again the longer it takes. We need to have the positive behavior. So if we get up and round off right here, if we get up and round off in this area, then we're going to be going all the way up to almost $200. Okay, that's about 200 right there. Okay, all these charts are going to be available on my website. I'm going to put them in, tag them, so you can search just type it LTC. It'll pull up all my last LTC charts. Okay. Now, finally, Bitcoin. Bitcoin has been trading in this lane. This lane, okay, this lane is this curve, this parabolic duplicated, okay, and it's been reacting very, very accurately, okay, to my duplication, which is part of sword method, which we draw, and I can show you how to do that, but not on YouTube right here. There is resistance at 63,000, and there are supports. Now, this is my map of Bitcoin on the daily chart. So again, each one of these is 1 day worth of time. We do have some support in this area due to previous supports, okay, that are down there. So I do expect price to play in these areas, but be aware, when USDT.D went up, this one came down pretty wide and came right back up. But we did take advantage of those 2 days when we were falling to fall pretty far. Okay, if that happened today, right now, below this, we are going to be able to hit this 37,000, which you guys know, I didn't do star analysis on this particular chart, but I have it. I've shown you guys several times where I'm expecting, it's a line almost this exact same angle, where I'm expecting Bitcoin to fall and hit around 33 to 35, 36,000. It's a dynamic moving line, and I didn't prepare it for today's demonstration, but you guys can ask for it later. I've shared with you guys plenty of times that chart, but it looks something like this angle. Now we do have this angle in sword 2.0, and it is also around 35 to 33,000. If price were to fall today, it's going to be around 33,000, and it's almost this exact same line. Okay, so that matches the distance that USDT.D has to go up. So if Bitcoin reacts, it's going to react almost the same way it did this day, and we can fall almost to the same distance. Okay, so I'm expecting that to happen, and it's possible it can still happen before the end of December. I don't think we're out of the clear when it comes to that USDT.D, but it may be a chance to scoop up some good Bitcoin, but we do need to see a positive change of behavior above this line. We need to get above, and then we need to go up. Okay, so that's what I'm expecting for Bitcoin. Okay, so this is my map for Bitcoin. These levels right here, there is flat supports here at around, hold on, 37,400 and 35,800. So in addition to these blue lines here that are my supports, I also have these flats. So I do see a safety net. However, if we get a move below this white line right here, and we arc down and come below that, then I think we're good to fall all the way to this level because there's not really anything in between. It's like a clear lane, a clear time to fall. But we don't have that negative behavior yet. Even though we are negative, it's still possible price will break above and sit somewhere in this pocket, and then we can be going back up to health again. But right now, it's not healthy. We're just within range. And then finally, it would look something like this. Okay, we would go on the underside and come down this path. But we can also swing underneath this roof again one more time and reject, and then we can also fall. So there's a couple scenarios where price could fall, and then again, this would be the positive behavior, a break up into that pocket and then moving up. Okay. Finally, let's go over XRP. Now this is happening live, so this is I'm not gonna. I'll make a thumbnail after the fact I upload this video, but I want to show you guys what it looks like. Here's XRP, and this is the health, and we've had this now for a couple days, especially while you guys were on the weekend. But we did talk about it in Dive yesterday, and on Sunday we broke above this. I've been telling everybody for the last couple weeks we need behavior past these two red lines. Once we get past those red lines, we're gonna see XRP in health, and that's what's been happening. The same way that USDT.D, it was ready to go up. Once you get past these major hurdles, price is free to break out. Until you pass them, you have to pay the toll. But once you get in, there's not many days left. I mean, how many days can you fit in between these lines? These are going down. You only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days at the most from when these are happening. So pay attention when I give you guys these angles. I give you guys these angles all the time, especially in Dive, and you guys have them, watch them, draw them. Once you see that behavior above there, you're golden. However, the only thing that scares me about XRP in the short term, again, is USDT.D, because that thing is still going to go up. And look how much XRP was affected. When that went down, it went way down here, but also we went right back up in almost the same hour. Okay, so what does that mean? Or the same day? What does that mean? That means there's a lot of people buying XRP. In addition, you got this big rounded area on top of support. Okay, you guys had this support. Okay, and I haven't changed these lines. You had them at the behavior. So if we get that behavior up, which we did, you're good to go. But the warning now is that we can still have one last flash crash, which could push XRP down to one of these supports. Now, if it fell today, the first support is around, let me pull this up, my edit, markup, use my ruler and show you guys. If price fell today, it would be approximately this line, okay? So let me just draw it right quick. Oops, that was terrible. It's gonna be around there. So we just match the date and the price, and it's around 68 cents. So if price fell right now, it's 0.68 cents. However, the next support below that is this one, the same area, and that is around 0.59 cents. That's around 60 cents, okay? Underneath that, the next support for XRP is around 55 cents. Okay, so those would be great prices for XRP. If we get a flash crash, look for XRP to hit those particular levels. There are a few more, but I didn't make them as strong, but they are there. These two flats around 62 cents. I highlighted this in yellow. Okay, so there's the support around there. But the major resistance that price has to overcome is this big thick dashed red line, this red line up here, and also the sword cut. So those are two major hurdles that price does have to cover before it will go up. I think if they announce that XRP had a settlement, you're going to see this happen super quick. So I hope I covered enough ground for you guys today. I wanted to just put everything in this one video. You can fast forward to the cryptos that you're interested in. The last thing I'm going to show you live before your very eyes, for your viewing pleasure. Oh, and this is XRP right now. The current price is 94 cents. Price had a big push in the last few hours. Okay, here's XRP, 94 cents. We're almost on our way up to the $1.01. So if we get that big hurdle above there, great, but look for a price to beat these lines, and then we should be going up even more. But again, we're not out of the clear because this last and final chart, which is the chart I cover almost every single day, and that is this chart. When this chart goes down, XRP goes up. When this chart goes up, XRP, Bitcoin, many of your cryptos go down. And here it is. We've been sitting on top of this line and yet haven't broken sword cut. We actually build a case of evidence on top of this sword cut, which I've given you months ago, months ago. You have all of these lines and you can draw them yourselves. These are the levels. Take a screenshot, match your lines close, at least the flat ones, okay? Those are the sword cuts. I don't think that we're going to break below both of these sword cuts, because once we pierced below, we actually sat on top of them, broke above and sat on top of them, and we've been sitting on top of them ever since. On top of that, we've been sitting on top of this red line, which is also support, almost exactly. This is building a case that this thing is going to go up. So how high do you think some of your crypto is going to be able to go while this makes a massive bull run? I mean, on top of that, we formed a huge arc, huge. So this is really good structure for a dead cat type bounce on top of as we go up. And I think we're actually going to be coming up to here. And I told you guys that once we broke through this major trend line here and we sat down on top of that. Almost exactly, guys, almost exactly. Okay, once we were piercing through here, we came up and sat down in this pocket. We were on our way up to sword cut. But the problem is we didn't just come up, we pierced through and had a chance to come back down. So it had plenty of time for everyone to understand what the heck is happening with their cryptos. And now you got this nice, almost looks like a nice turtle. It's that smooth. This is huge evidence that we're gonna pop up. Okay, guys, and I'm just warning you, everyone, right now. If you want good prices on XRP, I think they're coming. I think they're coming. Of course, anything under $1 is fantastic. Anything under $2 XRP, fantastic. So some of you guys are like, oh, should I wait? Should I wait? I can't tell you. Some people just dollar cost average. They just buy some XRP over the year, and sometimes you buy it higher, sometimes you buy it lower, but eventually you come out pretty good because sometimes you got what they call the dip. Okay, but right now I'm giving you all of this stuff. I'm here for you guys. You guys can answer me those questions on my website, www.patreon.com/jsong_7. I'm not always making YouTube videos, but I am making content for you guys and teaching classes daily, and I'm there to chat with you guys, as well as almost once a week. I'll give like Patreons some type of video access to me, so you guys can chat, and then also you can send me messages of what cryptos you're wanting me to put in my queue. So I am taking some of those requests, but again, thank you so much for your patience, because it does take quite a bit of effort, and sometimes my eyes are like bugging out because of the charts. But to migrate everything over to Sword Point 2 requires me to sit down at my charts and be like, and then I'm recalculating everything to make sure I'm getting verified lines and that they're accurate. But anyway, that's my video for today, guys, and I hope that you guys are having a great Christmas season. I hope you're making a great one. Yesterday I may not have responded to many of you guys' messages. I was celebrating with Melody, her wonderful birthday. So thank you for your well wishes. A lot of people was telling her happy birthday, so thanks. And I want to see you guys tonight in our class. We begin at 9 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. GMT -3, which is 7 p.m. New York Standard Time. And may the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you. May the Lord look upon you with favor. May the Lord be abounding to you in grace. May he lift up his countenance towards you, and may he give you peace. And may you be prosperous and at peace, especially during these holiday seasons where there are hearts that are broken, when there are families that are hurting. I pray that the Lord give you and your family peace, peace that only he could bring, peace that money can't bring, and things that money can't solve. I pray that you are comforted through the Holy Spirit, that he gives you, and his peace that he pours out upon all flesh and on all people of the earth. For those who asking, may you receive of the Lord. And that's my prayer for you. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Thank you guys for sticking with us and for your support. And I'll see you guys in the next video. As I migrate more of the charts over, I will create another video for you Patreons. And I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Cue the outro music.